Greetings to all. My name is Krati Tomar of class 12th Humanities from the Vidyanjali International School, Indore, MP. This is my art integration project of English and I am preparing it on the topic Poetic Device. Now let's begin the presentation. This is a presentation on poetic devices. So, what is poetic devices? Poetic devices are the ornaments. As we say, ornaments beautifies a woman, so does the poetic devices. It beautifies the text, the written text. When we say a beautiful woman wears ornaments, it increases her beauty. So does the poetic devices. It enhances the beauty of the text in many ways. So let's see the kinds of poetic devices. Well, there are n number of poetic devices, but in our class 12 syllabus, we study some of them. So I have selected some poetic devices to cover in this project. First, alliteration. Second, assonance. Third, imagery. Fourth, metaphor. Fifth, onomatopia. Sixth, personification. Seventh, refrain. Eighth, rhyme. Ninth, simile. So now let's see in detail. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the first consonant sound. It means when the same consonant sound is repeated in many words in a single line. An example is given in which S is repeated 3 times. You can see in she sells mein you can see S is repeated thrice. So this is an example of alliteration. Now the second poetic device is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of the vowel sound. When A, E, I, O, U, these vowel sounds are repeated in a poetic text, it is known as assonance. An example is given where O vowel sound is repeated again and again in the text. Now the third poetic device is imagery. Imagery is a poetic device which deepens the reader's understanding, or we can simply say that imagery are the words which make the reader think or which make the reader imagine a situation. An example is given: a dark winter night, bats flying with extreme cold in a ghost forest. So these words will let you imagine the things. This will make you think about a dark night where there is bats flying with extreme cold and of course the ghost forest. So this will make you think. So this kind of poetic device is known as imagery. Now the fourth device is metaphor. Metaphor is when we describe a thing to another unrelated object. Like we have given an example, the moon was a ghostly gallant toasted upon cloudy seas. Here we compare moon with the ghost, which is simply a contrast, but to just to give it a quality, we just compared it with ghost. So this is the poetic device which is called metaphor. Now the next poetic device is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means the sounding words. Onomatopoeia is a device which is used to create the sounds in the text, like roar, slash, means the sound which make us hear, like the sound of drop or this door banging. These are the words which led us to think about a sound. So this is poetic device is known as onomatopoeia. Now the sixth poetic device is personification. Personification means to give human qualities to animals or to plants or to the non-living things. Here, the best example from our chapter, My Mother at 66, is sprinting trees. Sprinting is a human quality, or we can say a human activity, which is related to running. And trees, which are living, non-living things, which stand still, but we have compared it with sprinting, which is a human quality. So here, we have finished our sixth poetic device. Now, the seventh poetic device is refrain. Refrain is a word, line or phrase that is repeated again and again in a text. From our Keeping Quiet poem, we could see that wood word is repeated again and again, which is an example of refrain. Now, our eighth device is rhyme. Rhyme means when the ending of a text is similar to the another ending. We can say that having ends with a sound that corresponds to another. Means when the ending of the lines sounds similar. Like in the example, forever and never, keep and sleep. So by this, we can say that by default, the rhyming scheme of this poem is AABB. That means this first two lines have the same ending sound, and the last two lines also have the same ending sound. Now, our last poetic device is simile. Simile means comparing two different things by using as or like. When these two words are used to compare between two different things, then it is called simile. For example, as black as coal and sleep like a dog. When we use as and like to compare two things, then that particular poetic device is known as simile. I hope from this video you are able to know what are the 9 kinds of poetic devices which we study in class 12th. Thanks for watching.